What is going on, guys? It's Matt, aka Roddy Locks, here for my first YouTube video ever. So I'm super excited to be here, and I thought I'd just kind of start out with this video, kind of going over all my plays that I made yesterday. So we're here on Winnable.com. If you're not familiar with what that is, it's essentially where people go to put all their picks out online. And because I just kind of started out about a month ago, all of my plays are for free. So if you want to check those out, you can find them in my YouTube bio as well as my X bio. It's at Roddy Lock. It's going to be right here. And then you can also click on the pinned tweet right here and get to my winnable. So like I said, all for free. So there's really no reason not to subscribe here. But to go over my picks for yesterday, we did pretty well. We went 5-1. So we had the Trailblazers minus 12.5, Mavericks plus 12.5, and then this Nevada game. Man, this was kind of a sweat. Like halfway through the second half, Auburn went up a little bit, and I kind of got a little worried. But Nevada ended up pulling through against a shitty ass Auburn team. And then we did smack the Yankees money line. I'm not a huge MLB bettor, to be completely honest. I'm going to get a lot more into it this year. So it's pretty nice to start out 1-0 on the beginning of the MLB regular season. And then this Spurs Grizzlies game, man, I can't believe this line, honestly. Even like I was just staring at it yesterday. I'm like, what the hell are these sports books even thinking? This line should have been minus 22.5 in my opinion. Because like it says here, Memphis has absolutely no answer for Wemby, and that's how it ended up going. But minus 16.5 at minus 104 was a super nice play. Ended up putting 2 units on that one. And then these NHL parlays, man. I can't hit them to save my life. These 2-leg NHL parlays, I cannot hit them. It's always one leg will hit pretty easily, and then the second leg will always not. Obviously, this is plus 219, so it's not like, a super easy bet, but it's just every time. I mean, going down to yesterday, and really the thing is, I'm a pretty good NHL bettor. Like I have right here, Predators money line. I won that. Under 5.5 goals for the Caps and Blues, and that was plus money. But then we get to these 2-leg even favorites parlay at plus 140 odds, and the Bruins freaking lose it at minus 190. I really don't get it. These Bruins, man. I think, what is it? Past 16 home games, they're 14-2, and I bet on them both times that they lost at home. So the Bruins hate me. If you see one of these NHL parlays, whether it be a 2-leg or a 3-leg or whatever, just don't even tell it, man. I'm bad at them. So until farther notice, don't bet on them. But like I said, pretty good day yesterday, and we've been having a pretty good week, to be completely honest. We're 30-12, up 20.1 units, and that's over pretty much all sports: college basketball, NHL, NBA, and MLB. Right now, the only thing I'm not really betting on is women's basketball for obvious reasons. I just don't like watching it. I don't know if I should say that, but the truth hurts. But everything else, I bet on it, and we're pretty successful. So if you want to follow me on X, it's at Roddy Lock. I do put free plays out on here. Like yesterday, I did put out the Mavs, the Wolfpack, as well as the Spurs. So you will be getting free plays on there, so it's worth the follow. But like I said, Winnable is where you can find every single play that I make for free. But to get into the best bet of the day, I've really been kind of going back and forth. If we look at the college basketball schedule for today, I've been going back and forth between these 2 games right here. So Illinois, Houston, and Arkansas, Arizona. Obviously, these are going to be the best 2 games of the night, in my opinion. But I feel like I really have the better edge on this Arkansas-Arizona game, and I will tell you why. So just to spoil it right away, I am taking Arizona minus 7.5. Okay. I know what everyone's going to say. Darius Acuff Jr., but Darius Acuff Jr., he's the second coming of Christ. He's the best player in basketball. I get it. I agree. Darius Acuff Jr. is the best player in basketball right now. I just think that the supporting cast in Arkansas does not match up very well against Arizona really at all. You got Brazile. He's great. He's 6'10", awesome, sweet. But everyone else, I mean, there's no one that really jumps out of the screen like, man, this guy is really something to write home about, you know? So I am going to be taking Arizona -7.5. I'll probably be betting on all of these games, most likely, but this is the one I'm going to be most confident about. And I'll tell you why I'm betting that -7.5. So it all starts with looking at Arkansas's schedule, right? In particular, their losses. So we have MSU, they lost by 3 beginning of the season. I'm not going to hold that against them. But then we have a 9-point loss to Duke. We have a 9-point loss to Houston right here. I'm going to ignore these 2 games right here, the Auburn and Georgia. Both these look terrible on paper. But I'm just going to assume it's a mid-season slump or something along the lines. Lost by 8 to Kentucky. And then got absolutely slaughtered by Florida. And I wanted to look at those because I feel like those do have kind of some similarities between Arizona. In particular, their defense, right? So, I mean, if you think about some of the best defenses in the country, you got Florida, you've got Houston, and then you've got friggin' Duke. And even this Kentucky team, I mean, they have a pretty good defense, but aside from just the defensive play, if we come over here and look at KenPom's tallest teams, you've got Duke, you've got Florida, you've got Kentucky, you've even got Michigan State, and then you've got Arizona, obviously. And in my opinion, not really my opinion, just the fact of the matter is, because Arkansas has been in the SEC, they have not seen these big teams that play good defense and have some killers down in the paint. And I really think that inexperience in that aspect is going to be Arkansas's downfall. Quite honestly. I mean, I can't even really... The most recent time that Arkansas has played a quote-unquote big team would be this Mizzou game. And let's see, what was the score for that? Yeah, they beat Mizzou by... Well, they beat them most recently by 4, and then they beat them by 8. And I mean, obviously, Mizzou's not anything to write home about, but like, just Mizzou being a super tall team gave them problems here in this past game. I mean, they almost lost that game. So, like I said, the height difference is really going to matter tonight, and the defense difference versus the rest of their opponents is really going to matter a lot here as well. If we go over to Bart Torvik and look at, I mean, if you think about like, okay, what are these factors going, like how are these going to play into the game, right? This height difference. Well, the main way it's going to play into the game, obviously, is the rebounding. Right? So you've got Arizona offensive rebounding, 4th in the nation, defensive rebound, 25th in the nation. And then Arkansas is at, what is that, 120th and 198th? I mean, they're going to get slaughtered here on boards. So really the only chance that Arkansas has here is, just make every single 3 and have Darius Acuff drop 40? I mean, that's realistically the only way that I see Arkansas covering this spread, because they aren't going to get any offensive boards, they aren't going to get any defensive boards, so they're just going to have to shoot lights out and have Darius Acuff play like prime LeBron James, or it's not going to happen. Now, I know what a lot of people are thinking, because that Utah State game that Arizona just played is going to put a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths, which I would agree. Arizona did not look great at all. But if we go and look at this game, I mean, Arizona beat them by 12, which is pretty good. Probably should have beat them by a lot more. But Arizona shot not even 40% from the field. I mean, this was Arizona's, if not their worst game, one of their worst games of the season. So if Arizona comes out there and shoots like how they usually do, which is 54%, I mean, this should be Arizona by 10 plus, in my humble opinion. Another thing that kind of comes into play, which I'm not really big on this, but it does make a little bit of a difference, is this is going to be played on the West Coast. I think it's getting played in California, if I'm not mistaken. So there are going to be a lot of Arizona fans there, which is obviously going to give them a little bit of that home court advantage. But if you do look at that Utah State, and I'm in no way am I comparing Utah State to Arkansas, right? They're two completely different teams. I think Arkansas is a lot better. But Utah State and Arkansas on paper do not look like super far off. I mean, Utah State doesn't have nearly as good of an offense, which is understandable. But I mean, they're both not great defensively. A lot of these matchup, obviously, besides the three ball, Arkansas is a lot better at that. But yeah, I mean, I really think this is going to be kind of similar to the Utah State game in terms of points, because I think Arizona is going to be playing a lot better than they did against Utah State. I think Arkansas is better than Utah State. And I would put this spread around, like I said, 10.5, 11.5. Unless Arizona comes out there and just plays the worst game of their life, and even worse than they did against Utah State. Another thing that I want to look at here, though, is if we go to Arizona, if we go to Arizona and we compare them to Arkansas, one of the big thing that stands out is obviously this rebound percentage. I mean, like I said, Arkansas is going to get killed on the boards, absolutely slaughtered on the boards. But this right here, the adjusted tempo, right? So this is how fast they play. Arkansas likes to play a fast style of offense. Arizona likes to slow it down, set it up at the top, get it to their big man down low, run their plays. Arizona is 54th in the nation. Arkansas is 19th. But this is throughout the entire season. If you look at, and if you've been looking at Arizona recently, they've been really trying to slow it down, and it's been playing to their advantage. And as we've seen throughout this whole tournament, when you get these teams, these high-powered offenses, and they get put against a team that plays good defenses and is able to slow the game down and kind of play on their own terms, it really does not end up well for that fast-paced team. And really the last point that I want to make here, which makes a huge difference, is Arizona has been cracked out of their ass in getting foul calls on them. In the past, let me look at this. So in the past 2 games, they have shot 72 free throws, and their opponents have shot 21 free throws, which is a 51 free throw differential. Because they are putting it a lot down low, and obviously once you put it down low, there's a lot more chance of them getting fouled, because it is such a congested area. So really all these things combined make it a pretty easy Arizona minus 7.5 for me. I mean, you've got a way bigger team that plays great defense, which Arkansas is not used to. They're going to dominate on the glass. They're the best defense that Arkansas has probably ever seen, besides maybe Duke. And then on top of that, they have a pretty awesome offense. I mean, as you can see here, 7th versus 5th in the nation. But yeah, like I said, all those things kind of combined really make me think that Arizona minus 7.5 is the play. So if you guys did enjoy this video today, I'd appreciate if you liked and subscribed to my channel. Like I said, this is my first video ever. So the early support, is really going to help out a lot. And then if you do want to see all my plays, like I said, it's all going to be on winnable.com. And that's going to be in my YouTube description, as well as my X account.